Hey everyone, Scott from musicplayers.com here with Steve from Synergy. He's going to tell you about some really amazing options for guitar players who want a lot of great boutique sounds in their rig.
All right, well, thanks for the opportunity, Scott. What we've done is we've asked all the biggest boutique amp makers in the world to take their preamp section, because that's most of your tone right there is in the preamp, right? I mean, the wood of the cabinet makes a difference, the power tubes make a difference, but the main tone comes from the preamp. So we got this one in particular. This is a Metroplex by George Metropolis. He actually put his preamp section into this little box. It's the same components, same preamp. He just reconfigured it to fit in here. And then you put it into this. The rest of the preamp is in here. There's an AX7 in here too. So it's all two preamp. You can use it in several different configurations. The first one is we put two effects loops in the Synergy systems. One to hook to your effects loop in your existing amplifier. So here we've got like a Fender Deluxe. A lot of people have these. We've run into the effects loop. Now, we don't take any sound away from your actual amp. If you have it in bypass mode, you're going to hear only your Fender amp. We don't take any sound away from it. But once it's bypassed, we bypass this preamp altogether, and you're only using the power section and the speakers. And then you have, in this case, this is designed by Peter Diesel. It's the actual third and fourth channel of a VH4. So you've got channel 3 and channel 4 of a VH4 that you just added to your Fender amp. So that's kind of your first market, is the guy that thought he couldn't afford a boutique amp. Now, the box here is $499. The modules are all $399. Now, $900, you now own channel 3 and 4 of a Diesel VH4. And, every birthday, Christmas, you're getting a new boutique amp for $400. I mean, it's unheard of to me. We also make this in a rack unit where it has two modules, so you have 4 channels. You can add it to your amp, or we tried to think of every which way you could hook it up. So there's direct outs back here with cab simulation. It's gorgeous cab simulation. You can defeat the cab simulation if you have your favorite IRs you want to use. So you can go direct out to house out of the XLR, or quarter-inch out, or both. You can go out of the direct out into, I remember flying to a gig in New York and they gave me a destroyed twin for backline, and there's no effects loop in that. So I just came out of the quarter-inch out in the back into the input just like a pedal, and it completely fixed their amplifier. You can direct record into your DAW, and it sounds gorgeous. Actually, we have several studios using that now. I just thought of a huge one that I can't tell you unless I get authorization. But they love the way it feels, because it feels like a real amplifier, because it is a real amplifier. Whereas all the other systems out there, they emulate, they simulate, they do a really good job. Some of them sound great, but it's not the real amplifier. And one of the biggest studios that I can't talk about that is now using this had all the competition out there. And he bought my stuff, the Synergy stuff, on the spot, because he said it's the only system he's used that feels like a real amplifier. It's because it is. Another thing that happens, which we prefer, is there's systems out here that do a good job of emulating a Plexi or emulating, different amplifiers, but they don't give those original makers any credit or, frankly, any royalty. We're in partnership with Peter Diesel, George Metropolis, Engel has come aboard, Soldano's aboard. New makers are coming aboard all the time, but we're in partnership with them, so they actually get royalty for their work. So you're actually getting the real amp from the real guy. Somebody had asked me once if we could give them a deal if they bought both the preamp box and a module. Now think about that. The module, this is the channel 3 and 4 of a VH4. How much does a VH4 head cost? It's about $4,000. This costs $400. So for a tenth of the price, you just got channel 3 and 4 from the same guy. I'm sorry, but you can't beat that anywhere. So there's many uses for this stuff. Like I said, we have a rack version with 2 modules. We have a stereo power amp. that Stevie Fryette designed. And then for the guys that want an amplifier, we made a combo version. This is a Syn 30. It has a gorgeous clean channel in it, and then you have one module that you can put in, so it's a 3-channel amp. This one here is a Syn 50 with 2 modules, so you have 4 channels in that amp. And then we have the head and cab version. So there's a lot of different configurations you can do. When people understand the tool that this is, you know, I think there's two thought processes that go on here. For the guys that thought they couldn't afford a boutique amp, they're bouncing off the walls. There's other guys that own great amps. I own some really great amps, and I love my amps. But this tool I now could not be without. I fly with this in my backpack. It fixes so many challenges. There's some casinos that I'll play that don't allow amps on the stage. I go direct out of this, and they love it. I have several casinos now buying these because it solves the problem of the stage volume in a casino. They have total control, and yet the guitar player's happy because it feels like an amplifier. I'm so excited about this stuff. Some of you may have seen my video last year about this. I'm still bouncing off the walls just like I was then. I'm sure some of you that have seen it before go, there he is again, bouncing off the walls. But I just love this. I think it's genius. Anyway, thanks for the opportunity, Scott.